For those select few that are already initiated, you should already know what's coming next. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're going to get to the other stuff here in a minute, but what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So before we do anything else, vibe. If you haven't smiled yet today, do that immediately. Yeah. Just chill. Catch that vibe to that French shit. And understand that it's about that time for you to open up your ear and let me crawl into your mind. One time. Everything is vibration. And as you slowly start to feel that vibration that is everything, you're going to slowly start to come to the realization that I'm just trying to help you achieve le petit mordite. What it was. Y'all already know who it is, and y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge of Self. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight. And what this also is just another deep dive into the intricacies that are you. And what I mean by that this time is this right here. This a little something about the major aspects between Mercury and Neptune in your natal chart. And understand that I said major aspects. That means I'm talking about conjunctions, oppositions, trines, squares, sextiles, and inconjunctions or quincunxes, which is what inconjunctions are also referred to. That means I'm not talking about sesquadrats or semisextiles or semisquares or quintiles or biquintiles. I'm not talking about your YOD or your T-square or your grand trine or your star David or your kite. Not yet. See, first, we got to master the basics. And it's a good thing you got me. So before we get to the aspect, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to remind you a little bit about Mercury. We're going to talk a little bit about the energy that comes along with it and how it might affect you. Then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about Neptune and the energy that comes along with that and how it might affect you. And then after that, we're going to bring it to a culmination, a crescendo, and eventually a climax. And fortunately for you, that's my forte. So, without wasting any more time, let's get this thing cracking. So, what is Mercury? Mercury is how our mind works. It's how we process, disseminate, and communicate our thoughts. Okay? It's how we talk. It's how we think. It's our attitude. It's how we make adjustments in life. And it's pretty simple with that, man. It's your mental acumen. It's your verbal skills. Okay? It's how you handle things mentally. It's how you process the situation and figure out what the fuck you got to do next. Okay. So when we talk about Neptune, the thing to understand about Neptune is Neptune has an almost perfectly circular orbit, and it represents the part of our nature that strives for perfection, the part of us that's really looking to some higher ideal. And Neptune also rules the ocean, so it rules the part of us that is beyond the shores of personal existence. Okay, and the culture moves with the cycles of Neptune, and it's the primary indicator of the culture that we live in. Okay. Now, when we're looking at the sign placement of Neptune, that's going to show an ideal that we want to manifest. When we're looking at the house placement of Neptune, that's going to show the area of life that we want to manifest that ideal in. Now, when we're looking at the aspect patterns of Neptune, which is what we're talking about here today, this is going to indicate the most direct connections or the most subtle networking of our personality into the world at large. Oh, yeah. It's like that. So when we're looking at Mercury being conjunct to Neptune in the natal chart, man, I guess the main thing to understand about the folks with this one is their mind has an otherworldly component to it that really makes them highly intuitive and imaginative and creative. And it just gives them a natural appreciation for artistic and literary endeavors that are steeped in romanticism and emotion and fantasy and fiction. And really, in a lot of cases, I've seen that transcends beyond appreciation into the realm of true divine talent. And I mean that, man, because this conjunction right here just turns these people's minds into natural conduits of energy and information between this world and the next. And with all of that going, man, it's going to be absolutely imperative that these folks have some type of safe and productive outlet for their imagination, whether that be in writing or dancing or music or acting or painting or something. Okay, something. Because without it, it can easily get to a point where it's too much, and then it's going to push them into some rampant daydreaming and escapist fantasies that keep them in isolation, which would really be doing a terrible disservice to this motherfucking aspect right here. Because it has some amazing gifts that come with it, man. Because besides the artistic gifts that this one brings, man, hey, man, I just want you to know this one right here makes people psychic. Straight up. It makes people psychic, bro. For real, man. And it gives them acute impressions of what the future has in store that gets fulfilled through their own mental history and their own unique predispositions. But I also know that as powerful as that is, man, it can also be extremely unsettling to know the motherfucking future, man. So a lot of them are scared of their own intuition with this one, man, or their own psychic perceptions, man. So a big part of the spiritual growth that comes with this conjunction is really going to revolve around conquering the fears that they have of their own psychic perceptions, because whether they know it or not, their forecasting ability is going to be absolutely essential to their success in life, which in turn is directly linked to their ability to inspire and help other people. Because if I know anything at all about this conjunction right here, man, hey, I know that no matter what happens in their life, they will never, ever be at peace until the whole culture somehow benefits from what they do. So as talented and gifted as they may be, it's not about the fortune and the fame for them. It really ain't, man. It's about the impact that they can make on people's minds because of the divine way that their own mind works. Straight up, man. However, when we flip the script and we talk about people that have Mercury opposite to Neptune right here, man, hey, man, this is where shit gets confusing, because these are those people who can always kind of see more than they can actually do, because it's kind of like they're being led through life responding to a voice that nobody else around them can hear, man. And that's crucial. And people might love them, but they're still going to think they're incredibly naive at the same time, because they be believing in stuff that people think of as make-believe. Okay? And that's actually a part of their charm, because a part of them has always remained a child inside. And that's cool in certain instances, but they need to make sure that they know how to communicate with other people based on their perceptions and beliefs, or they're going to have a real hard time in this life functioning in the real world rather than one of their own creation. Because the fact of the matter is, hey, man, the vast majority of communication issues that these people face in their life is going to stem from the fact that they only see what they want to see in life, right? And their own perceptions and imaginations get way too easily confused and distorted and disillusioned, man. So, oh man, What they got to do with this one, man, is just making sure that they're working real hard to get their creativity and their highest aspirations across to others, regardless of whether or not other people believe them. Okay? Understand that not a lot of people are going to receive and understand everything that you're trying to convey. Okay? But at the end of the day, that's the only thing real in the equation is how you feel and the things that you can perceive. So, finding a delicate balance between the two is going to be absolutely crucial to that one right there, man. Straight up, man. Now, when we're looking at Mercury being trine to Neptune, oh, hey, this is where it gets good, man. Because this is where we encounter those supremely gifted individuals who just have a natural knack for creating beauty in ways that can create amazing fantasies for themselves and other people in life. And I've seen it, man. Plus, they have these powerful and quite accurate premonitions that help them see the future in everything they do. And they're also in tune with other people's picture of life. So a lot of them are going to be incredibly adept at communicating ideas in ways that build consensus. So, man, all these folks really have to do is learn how to work with and integrate all this shit together. And nothing in this world or the next world will be inaccessible to them with this trine. Nothing. Especially information. Okay. Now, with Mercury square to Neptune, no. That's a whole different story, bro. Because these folks right here are just way too sensitive for their own good. And little bitty irritations get blown way out of proportion in their mind, just like their mind can belittle some shit that's actually incredibly crucial to their lives. And that same shit kind of happens and causes problems in their dealings with other people too and in their relationships. All right. So what they got to do is just learn how to deal with that shit that they have inside, or they're going to end up making some really unfortunate mistakes in life. And they're also going to end up needing some type of outlet for their imagination, because if they don't have it with this square, fantasy often ends up taking the place of reason at some really inconvenient times and end up being way more of a hindrance or escape than anything else. And that's bullshit. That's bullshit. This square right here is about learning how to fight through it and learning how to function in the world that everybody else lives in too. And the thing is, that's going to be easier said than done. They have so much going on. It's going to be easier said than done. But I'm telling you that it's absolutely crucial to their development. And I mean that. Now, when we discuss the sextile between these two, this is actually a wonderful ordeal, because here we're going to have those individuals who are just compassionate idealists that are psychologically in tune to a higher dimension, so they can really communicate with people in picture imagery. And I've also seen this in play in life, man. And they just really do well in any job or situation that engages their ability for aesthetic design or allows them a chance to parlay their sensitivity for profit. Or with this one, they could just end up being dreamy people that live in their head. Because that's definitely a possibility here too. Because you have to understand that the sextile is a lot like the trine, but it's not automatic. It's not as dynamic in any way, form, or fashion. So you're going to have to choose to use it. All right. And then lastly, with the inconjunction or the quincunx here, hey man, I have this for myself, man. So I know damn well that this one's kind of about being in confusion, because your imaginations and ideas and visions just differ significantly from what's going on in the material world around you, man. And then with that, you kind of end up wasting a lot of time, energy, and effort chasing things that were really never attainable in the first place. Okay. So getting this one to work out is really going to require some self-honesty that isn't always easy, but it is absolutely essential. And I'm working on it. I'm telling you, man. Because right here, man, our imagination can create some false expectations, and the brain takes it seriously and tries to overcompensate by promising more than is possible. And it's all just really a lovely confusion, to be honest with you, man, that started with the disillusion that we created for ourselves in our own head. And if we can just keep it real, then the illusion is the problem in itself. Okay. But I'm working through this myself, and y'all don't have to believe a word I just said, because the fact of the matter is, just because you built like that, You don't have to build like that. And what I mean is we all have all this energy available to us. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And this has been some priceless knowledge of self. If you made it this far, you should have already hit the like button. If you haven't, you're out of line. You can hit the dislike button too, but then I know you're a hater. And that's all right because the world needs those. But why? And understand that hitting the like button isn't about my ego. It's about the algorithm. It just helps me expand the platform. So if you ain't trying to hear what I have to say, help me get out to somebody that needs to. All right? If y'all are looking for any astrological readings whatsoever, you could hit me up in the comments below, but I just direct you to my email, which is mr.turner1300@gmail.com. And that's actually my preference. And the same thing goes if you want some merch. But understand that I'll sell you all the merch you want. All right? And I got different styles, as you can see. And you'll probably look fly in it. I mean, fly as hell. But the truth of the matter is, this type of swag I got, this type of energy that I pack with me, it's got to be in you and not on you. So, let me put it in you.